Things are changing in the marketplace to buy a home, and these changes have occurred in the last 12 months. I've been a realtor and then more recently a principal broker. I own my own brokerage, and these are changes none of us saw coming, and I haven't seen it supported anywhere else. You may want to consider subscribing to my YouTube channel because each week I'll be publishing 2 new YouTube videos on topics about real estate that you won't hear about from anywhere else. Hi, my name's Tobin Seven. I'm a principal broker, own my own brokerage, licensed in Virginia, Maryland, and DC. Also an Army veteran and an Eagle Scout. We're going to go next to a series of slides to define why this change occurred and what is the change. But it will impact you if you're thinking of buying a home this year. One of the biggest changes that I've seen, and I've been a realtor for a long time, also a principal broker, is where buyers buy their home. The biggest change I've seen in decades occurred in the last 12 months. And that's where people buy their homes. And what the issue is more and more home buyers are buying homes from new home builders. This is a great graph because it shows historically what's been going on. So I would typically figure 1 out of 10 of my buyers would buy from a new home builder, and 90% would buy from a resale, which is homes that have already been bought and are being sold by an owner. So 12% is the actual number historically, and in the last 12 months, which is today, 1 out of 3 home buyers are buying newly built homes from a new home builder. And that has some huge ramifications for the home buying market. Now, why is this big change occurring? One of the biggest reasons is there are few homes for sale. Where I live in Alexandria, there's about 400 homes around us. This last summer, only 1 home out of 400 around us was even for sale. We raised 5 children. We would never move during the school year because that would disrupt the kids in school, and they weren't doing that good in school anyway. Just wasn't going to help them do better with their grades, which is the same philosophy a lot of parents have. Don't move during the school year. The time you sell a home, if you have children, is in the summer. This past year, only 1 home out of 400 was for sale. So there's very few homes for sale. And if you're looking to buy a home, where are you going to buy a home? This next graph here really shows, if we take a look at 2011 to today, and today is 2023, that's the most recent statistics, it's almost a 45-degree decline, downward. I mean, you had 9.5 million homes for sale in 2011, and you had about 3.25 million last year in 2023. Not many homes for sale. So if you're looking to buy a home, where do you buy a home? The supply of homes is very low. In fact, there are fewer homes available for sale now than there were before COVID pandemic. So in 2017, 1.3 million, basically, or 1.227, down to last year, 750,000. That's graph downward that we saw. Another reason why it's difficult for people who own homes to sell is that their existing home interest rate, fixed interest rate, is less than current interest rates. I know there was always hope that the Federal Reserve would lower the rates more. The challenge is inflation is pretty robust, pretty persistent, and it's hard for the Federal Reserve to justify lowering rates. This next graph is a great graph, and it shows exactly in one graph form why we have this challenge today with not many homes for sale. There's a group here, 3% to 4% mortgages. That's almost half of all the home mortgages out there, 44.7%. Less than 3% is a quarter, 26%. If you had a mortgage like that, a fixed rate mortgage, you could be, for example, let's say you're an older person, you want to downsize, sell your home, buy a smaller home. If you have an interest rate, and you very well may have in this area less than 3% because you're older, you've had the mortgage for a while, you could very well end up in a situation where you sell your home and then the new home you buy, because interest rates are more than double or maybe 2.5 times the 3% rate, you could actually end up buying a smaller home, paying more in your mortgage payment because the interest rate is so much higher. So the conclusion here is, let me get myself out of the way here. I'm always getting in the way. A little over 90% of homeowners have mortgages below 6%, and the current interest rates are more than 6%. So if I was a homeowner, I would be hesitant, reluctant to sell. And this causes a low inventory of homes for sale. Of course it does. So what's a person to do if they are going to buy a home? New home builders do several things. And I've been witnessing this more and more over the last few years. They buy down the interest rate. In other words, they're offering fixed rate for 30 years, much less than the current interest rate. Here is an email excerpt I got recently. It's from a national home builder. I blocked out the name of the home builder here. They also build in Virginia, where I live. They were offering 4.5% fixed rate for 30 years and up to $20,000 in closing costs. That, for most people, would pay your closing costs. So I'm an Army veteran. A lot of my clients are military. They use a VA loan. There's no down payment required on a VA home loan, but a veteran still has closing costs. And I can tell you right now, VA home loan rates are not 4.5%. They're much higher. They're typically less than a conventional or FHA, but they are still more than 4.5%. And this ad is still running. So the builder is offering unbelievably low interest rates, and this is fixed rate. It's not like an ARM, adjustable rate mortgage, that you have it for a few years and it goes up. This is fixed rate for 30 years and $20,000 closing costs. It's actually better than a VA home loan. So the challenge we have is the new home builders are offering something brand new. When you buy a resale, it's an older home. That's why we oftentimes use home inspectors to see what's wrong with the older home. So with a new home builder, brand new home, almost all of them offer wall-to-wall, 12-month, no deductible. They fix anything that's wrong. You're not going to get that in a resale. So this is the reason why we're seeing more and more new home builders taking market share for home sales. And in my personal prediction, I think it's going to become more. Especially where I live in Northern Virginia, there's not much land available for sale around here. And the new home builders, what they do is they come in, they buy a series of homes on a block, and then they build new homes. If I was a home buyer, and I was looking to buy a home, I think I would like a new home. And a fixed rate of 4.5%, and $20,000 for closing costs. This is the reason why we're seeing this big, I would have to say it's a sea change, a big sea change in what home buyers are buying. They're buying newly built homes by new home builders. A third of the buyers are making this choice, and I think it's going to get up to 40 to maybe 45%. And that's not going to ever probably roll back. If you like this YouTube video, you might want to consider subscribing. Every week I'll be doing 2 new YouTube videos on the subject of real estate, and it's information you won't find anywhere else. Thank you.